Now let's get more familiar with Photoshop's interface. So here in center we have our canvas where we can start drawing or creating our own designs. And here on top we have our document as a tab. And if we have more than a file opened in Photoshop, you will find more than a tab in here. And on the left side we have our toolbar where we can select our tools. So for instance, you can select your brush tool to start drawing in your canvas. And you will find that one in here. And by hovering over any of these tools, you can see a quick demonstration for your tool, which is really handy and makes life easier. And of course, you can disable that feature in Photoshop's settings. And underneath these tools, you will find even more nested tools. So by right-clicking on our brush tool, we can discover even more tools in here. So we have pencil tool, color replacement tool, and mixer brush tool. And you can access these tools as well by pressing B on keyboard as a quick shortcut to save time. And you can cycle between your different tools by pressing Shift B, since they all have the same shortcut, of course. And if you would like to customize your own shortcuts, you can easily go to Edit menu and you will find keyboard shortcuts, where you can assign shortcuts for almost everything in Photoshop. So here we have shortcuts for application menus. You can select maybe tools. Then you can select any of your tools, maybe move tool. Then let's assume that you don't like V as shortcut for that tool and you would like to use M, maybe for instance. Maybe this could be more accessible for you guys or closer to your hands. So let's maybe click in here, M. Then you can click accept or apply that. And anytime you'd like to get back to defaults, you can click the button in here, use defaults. However, let's cancel that and let's go back to our toolbar. Also here we can review our toolbar in 2 columns or 1 column. This might be helpful for you guys if you have a smaller screen size. And also here we have these 3 dots for our toolbar, where you can edit your toolbar. By right clicking in here, you will find edit toolbar. And if you have some tools that you don't really use all the time, you can move them to extra tools by clicking and dragging to here. And you can always access these tools anytime by clicking on these 3 dots in here. And also anytime you can restore Photoshop's defaults by clicking restore defaults. So let's cancel that. Then on top we have option bar or control bar, which is giving us more options for our tools. So here for instance we have our brush tool selected and we can change our brush size from here or have more controls over our brush. Then here on right side we have Photoshop's different panels. So here for instance we have brush panel, where we can select from any of these brushes. And as you can see guys, this is a huge panel, and that's why it's an iconic panel to save us some space, or otherwise we don't have that space to start designing or painting in our canvas. So we have some iconic panels and we have some open panels on right side. And actually guys, everything here in Photoshop is so customizable. So for instance, you can start dragging your brushes panel all the way to right, maybe all the way to here, and you will start seeing the blue shading, which means that we can dock that panel to our open panels. Then you can start switching between those different open panels simply by clicking on these tabs, or you can drag that one once again and make it a floating panel, so maybe dragging that one to here. And if you feel that's quite too much, you can always click on those arrows to collapse your panel and start maybe painting in here. Then you can expand your panel once again by clicking on these arrows. Or let's even dock that one again to our iconic panels. So I'm gonna be selecting that one, dragging the panel to iconic panels. And actually guys, if you're looking for more space for your canvas, you can always collapse your open panels by clicking on those arrows, or we can expand them again. And actually, you know what guys, those are not all Photoshop's panels. So here on the very top of our screen we can see Photoshop's menus. So let's maybe select window for instance, where you will find all Photoshop's panels. So if you can't find any of your panels, you can always find it in here. Also, you can customize the spaces for your panels if they do require longer spaces by hovering on the top of these panels, for instance, maybe to get more space for our layers panel. So we can see more layers in here. And here at the bottom we have status bar where you can check your zoom level. So here we are at 50% zoom level within our canvas. And also, instead of checking document size, we can click on that arrow where you can select maybe dimensions. And also, if you don't like Photoshop's current colors, you can always change them. So here for the background of our canvas, you can right click in here where you can select maybe black or different colors. However, let's get back to default. And also you can go to Photoshop settings. If you are a Mac user, you will find that one by clicking on Photoshop CC, and you will find preferences in here. And if you are a Windows user, you will find that one under edit menu at the bottom of your menu in here. So clicking on Photoshop CC, then preferences, then selecting interface. So maybe instead of that dark gray, you can go for darker one, selecting that one, or maybe something like that, off-white, which is really looking awful to me, so I'm gonna stick back to default, then applying that. And if you made any changes to your current workspace and you would like to save that, you can go to your workspace selector, then you can select new workspace, and you can type maybe your name or even my name in that case, Khalil Ibrahim. And we can capture everything like shortcuts, menus, toolbar by selecting these options. Then we can save that. Now we can go back to workspace selector, and here we have our newly created workspace, or we can select from Photoshop's different default workspaces. So basically guys, we were using essentials, and that's the one you will find me using through that course. Or maybe if you are into painting, you can select maybe that one. However, let's go back to our default workspace, selecting essentials. And if anytime you'd like to search for anything in Photoshop, you can always click in here. And let's maybe search for brush and see what we get. So here, as you can see, we can find our brush tool, panel, and even different brush tools as well. And if you'd like to share your designs and photos, you can always use the button in here, where you will get different sharing options like size, and where you would like to share that one. So anyway guys, it's time to get our hands dirty in Photoshop. Let's get you to unleash your creativity and see how you can use the beast to create stunning artwork.